Your physical well-being is a very important part of diving and often an overlooked component in diving. The more physically fit you are, the more you will enjoy all aspects of your life, including diving. There are some do's and don'ts for divers that are extremely important. For example, alcoholic beverages or drugs and diving do not mix. Always consume adequate liquids, non-alcoholic, when you are diving to prevent dehydration. Water is best. Start your diving day with a good breakfast of light, non-gaseous foods and eat sensibly throughout the diving day. Wear adequate exposure protection. Over several days of diving and several dives a day, your body temperature will drop. The water you dove in at the beginning of your trip will seem cooler by the end of your vacation. That's why most resident dive masters at tropical resorts wear exposure protection all the time. Divers should refrain from smoking. Moreover, individuals concerned about respiratory health find that smoking is contradictory to diving. Your physical and emotional well-being are important components of your comfort and safety while diving, yet they are often overlooked. To become a diver today, you do not have to be a superhuman. But there are some common sense things you can do to enhance your comfort and confidence in this wonderful sport. One of those things is taking part in a diver stress and rescue specialty program, where you will not only learn how to take care of yourself, but also how to detect and deal with stress, and how to assist your buddy in case of an emergency. Using equipment that is unfamiliar, does not fit well, or performs inadequately can create stress, leading to panic. That is why we recommend selecting and owning your equipment and keeping it well maintained by your SSI Dive Center. Use your pre-dive checklist and check each piece of equipment before every dive. You can eliminate all potential problems by disciplining yourself. Remember, stay within your limits and your capabilities. You always have the right to decline diving if you do not feel comfortable or if you have the feeling that the diving conditions could exceed your abilities. You are capable of helping your buddy in case of an entanglement or sharing air. You are not capable of helping a diver in an advanced panic situation if you are not trained for it. Do all you can without endangering yourself. Prevention of panic. You can easily avoid panic by a proper response. Proper responses must be second nature in difficult situations. Regain control, respond, and react. Taking specialty training for the type of diving you are going to do. Most divers who find themselves in a difficult situation admit it was caused by either breaking the rules or doing something they weren't trained for. Honest self-evaluation of your diving limitations. The need to succeed or please someone often drives people beyond their limits. Be honest with yourself. Do not dive if you feel, for any reason, that you should not. Do not let spouse, family, friends, peers, or anyone force you into making a dive that you do not feel comfortable making. You know your capabilities better than anyone else. Remember, diving is meant to be a fun sport. Properly maintaining your total diving system, SSI Equipment Service Program. The main reason to compute air consumption is to figure out how much time can be spent at a specified depth. Once the amount of air to be consumed and your surface air consumption rate are known, it becomes easy to plan a dive. Computing time at depth requires these ingredients: planned depth, volume of the tank, usable air in bar, SAC rate. The Deep Diving Specialty Program incorporates advanced dive planning, which includes more in-depth information on planning your dive, gas management, and calculating dive times based on various dive parameters and equipment configurations. Ask your SSI dive professional for more information about the Deep Diving Specialty Program. If you follow the rules of scuba diving, you should never find yourself in an out-of-air situation. But if you do, here's an example of the most serious diving emergency: out of air at depth. The primal response if you are out of air at depth is shock and an adrenaline rush caused by the fight or flight response. This is where your training takes over. You realize immediately that an uncontrolled, panicked ascent would have serious consequences. Regain your capacity to think and fight off the primal response. Buddy is close enough. Your first choice should be dependent action. Give the out-of-air signal and share air. Buddy is not close enough, but you are in shallow depth. Perform controlled swimming ascent. Buddy is not close enough and you are at depth. Perform emergency buoyant ascent. You must commit the emergency ascent procedures to memory and review them over and over until they become part of your diving behavior. You provide the most important ingredients: maturity, good judgment, and continuing commitment to effective diving technique and safety. Each diver's responsible diving duties include diving within the limits of your ability and training, evaluating the conditions before every dive and making sure they fit your personal capabilities, being familiar with and checking your equipment before and during every dive, respecting the buddy system and its advantages, accepting the responsibility for your own safety on every dive, being environmentally conscious on every dive. After you are certified, you are ready to pursue a lifetime of adventure. Diving offers endless opportunities for exploration, discovery, education, and new experiences. You can go as far as your passion and enthusiasm take you. Entering the underwater world as a trained scuba diver is a thrilling experience. Knowledge puts you in control, and the sport of scuba diving becomes more and more enjoyable with time. Continuing education adds to the enjoyment of the sport and expands your underwater horizons. Your open water diver certification is only the beginning of the SSI educational system. SSI specialty programs teach you specialized diving activities, and there are many specialty programs to choose from. By combining specialties and experience, you can earn SSI continuing educational ratings of specialty, advanced open water, and master diver levels. Becoming a dive professional is an extension of the training path. If you have an interest in leading dives, assisting other dive professionals, or making a career out of scuba diving, talk to your SSI dive professional and dive center about the many leadership levels such as dive guide, dive master, dive control specialist, and even open water instructor. By now, in your training as an open water diver, you have received the fundamentals. You might say, as the Diver Diamond illustrates, that correct knowledge, proficient skills, proper equipment, and diving experience equal enjoyable scuba diving. The rest is up to you. Work with your SSI dive professional. Ask questions and have fun learning and gaining the experience required to become a comfortable, confident diver.